Hello, welcome to a build. Now this has an inspiration build for my Umbridge family in the Let's Play Good versus Evil base game only series I'm doing. So the big challenge with this particular build is actually the fact that it's going to be a raised one. So it took me a little while to figure out the best way that I wanted to do that without going weird and crazy with different levels and that sort of thing. Still have that look where it has the brick, well, not brick, it's kind of rock retaining wall at the front of the building, and then going upstairs, and then you have like really a landscaped area at the front into the house, and it's just like a one level house. So yeah, so it's actually a raised house, but it's one level house, if that makes sense. So I'm just working on at the moment doing the platform at the front, and I'm actually going to raise that up, as you can see, and then I'm going to use the platform design. There is a base game platform which turns into stone, woohoo, just like that, and then that's a retaining wall. So I'm going to put the stairs in there, and then extend the platform out around the stairs so that it is that same look as was in the inspiration, with the stairs going in through the retaining wall, if that makes sense. I think I'm explaining it okay. So this house is actually Umbridge Manor, or it used to be, and I actually kept this as a household for the Umbridges. So I've kept the Umbridges in this game, except I've updated them and changed who they are. So there isn't actually, I don't think there is anyone that's living in Umbridge Manor. No, I don't think so, but there is a house on there, and that was worth 157,000 simoleons, 882. So that is my budget for this build, which is quite a lot. I mean, you can do quite a lot with 157,000 simoleons. So, you know, you get to see what I do, and I'll be able to use some of the more fancier stuff, which is quite nice. Getting into the more fancy end of the Willow Creek world, where, you know, you have all the nicer stuff in their houses and that sort of thing. And so with the Umbridges who are going to live in here, we have 3 of them, and they are all siblings, and they're all single. And the oldest is Ryland, and he's very family orientated. He's into the whole family legacy type of thing. And then the middle sibling is Lilith, and she is more sort of the social butterfly and going out and having a good time, and, you know, that sort of thing. And then we have Rodney, who's the youngest, and he's just about having fun. You know, he's kind of like the spare ear, I don't need to really be serious kind of dude. And they do like themselves quite a lot, you know. So while they are good Sims, I wouldn't call them nice Sims. They're kind of snobbish and into themselves, and, you know, that sort of thing. So so they are good, but not good. So as you can see, I'm just actually working on the landscaping on the outside and the shape that I wanted. I did want a curve in there. I think there was a sort of a curve in the landscaping at the front in the inspiration, and I wanted to carry that through and have like quite a modern garden. You have the modern gardens have like the spiky plants in the bark and like rocks and you know, little trees and, you know, that sort of thing. Not super flowery, but more easy care kind of thing. And that's the kind of garden that we're going to go for in this particular build. And because we have lots of money, I get to do the garden that I like. Yay! So I'm just working out the roofing at this point, because it's actually, because it's one story, it's kind of quite flat, so it's very easy to go super high in the roof, because, I mean, you can just drag it all the way across, but then it's like a giant roof, so you got to, yeah, balance that out and actually make it a little bit more interesting than just a one note roof. So that was sort of what I was working out, and then I realized that the front of the building was a little bit uneven and didn't quite work, so I'm just just fixing that quickly. So yeah, so you can see I've got it's kind of like columns on both sides of that roof, so it's like a big entranceway then, which is quite cool. And I went flatter because, as I said, it's gonna get way too high otherwise and look really silly if I don't balance that out. So yeah, so I just worked that through, and I wanted to have something a little bit more interesting on the front, just something a little bit different. And yeah, then we've got like the little area at the side, so I'm just taking that down as well, so that blends with the bigger part of the roof. Yeah, so I think it's quite an interesting shape at the front, and something a little bit different because I haven't really done a lot of landscaping like that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun actually working that out, and how I was going to do the platform. It did take me a little while. I did try some like different things like with platforms and stuff like that in terms of how I was going to make this work. But actually just lifting up adding a platform to the house and then lifting it all up, and doing like the retaining wall with the platform paint ended up being honestly the easiest way to make it work. Yeah, and I'm going with a light blue roof, so that's something a little bit different. You know, I love me some light blue and with some white trim, and the house itself is going to be white. I actually just went with like a plain white paint on there, and I'm going to mix that up with a white clapboard. So it's going to be like different textures of white going into the house. I didn't want to do like a whole lot of different colors, but I thought the different textures did work. Yeah, so I was quite happy with that. We've still got a bit of a backyard, but I realized that I did need a little bit more space because this one is going to be 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, which makes sense because we've got the three siblings in there, so that's good. Although the 2 of them have to share a bathroom, so you know that's kind of awful. Ugh, sharing a bathroom, what? So yeah, that's not great for them, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I needed a little bit more space when I sort of thought about how I was going to lay this out and make it work. And yeah, and these aren't the type of people that are really going to need like a lot of lawn space. They're not going to do anything with lawn. They want easy care, and they want someone else to care for it, and they just want to have like a bit of space where they can have a pool, lie out there in the sun, sunbathe, or have something that is really fancy where they can socialize. And I think this is what really matched their personalities as far as that went, because I sort of gave them a really good socializing space, and they're going to get a pool as well, so they can lie out there and socialize too. And it's just like it's more showcasey than a home. I think it's not your regular family home. You know, these are people that have been brought up with money. They've inherited the house when their parents have passed on, and the 3 siblings are just, yeah, they're set in their ways, and this is the way that they are. So yeah, whether or not they'll fall in love and invite someone else to live here, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in the future. So I'm just going to put the pool in here, and there's going to be a garden sort of running around all the outside. I get to have a lot of fun with the gardening, so that's great. And I'm just going to gut the inside here, and it's just quite interesting having quite a large house, but on one single floor. Alright, so I'm just getting a bit of the painting in, and getting the dirt look in. I do play with the whole brown and green contrast with the gardens, and I think that ended up working quite nicely. So just drawing that in there and making that look pretty for my future placement of the gardens. So yeah, making progress, and I'm getting in the pathway that runs around the side, and now I am working on the floor plan. It can actually be quite difficult working out floor plans with, like, you know, your big squares, and to make it interesting. But what I'm doing here is I'm getting in 2 of the bedrooms with the bathroom in the middle, and then the 3rd bedroom will have an ensuite. so its own bathroom there. And then off to the side there, that's going to be the front entrance by the door, and that's going to lead through to the kitchen area. So I'm going to divide off the kitchen area, so there's kind of like a hallway running down, and then that's going to go, the hallway's going to run down, and you can have bits of the kitchen there, and then like a bar and a dining area. So that's, as I said, these guys socializing is quite important to them. So yeah, that was part of my thought process in how I lay out the house as well, is that the main feature is going to be people coming over and socializing. So yeah, that's what I focused on for them. And I'm actually just putting in a weird little L-shaped study. So it's kind of like quite an odd shape, but it kind of worked in evening out and pulling in the dining area, and I put that on an angle just to add some shape to that area as well, rather than it just being a big box. So yeah, so I snuck in a little study, which I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do. So yeah, and that sort of ties into the social side of things, because you're going to have like your chess table, and visitors always love coming over and using the computer, you know. So yeah, so that's going to be all sort of, you know, kitchen, dining, and study area, and there's going to be a living area around the other side, which is going to flow through to the garden. So that's kind of going to be that kind of flow. It's not, having the living area over there is probably not 100% the best, but it kind of like, it just kind of worked with the flow from indoor to outdoor, which I think worked nicely. So yeah, I mean, you know, not everything's going to be perfect the way that you want it, but I think it worked out okay. So I went with blue and white in the kitchen, which I think is really pretty, and I'm just fussing around with the breakfast bar at the moment. So I kind of did that like the walls like little corners, so that it's sort of like the rooms are partly enclosed, but then you can sit on the kitchen, on the breakfast bar, and look into the kitchen, which I think is quite neat. I've seen that in like a few of the Sims builds, just the basic builds that come with the game. They have like little corner points, and then the kitchen in the middle of that, and I thought that's quite neat. And it's just a nice square kitchen, and but it's a really big space, and there's plenty of room for cooking and entertaining and stuff there, so they can get the caterers in to cook a lovely meal while they're having a party, you know. So yeah, I actually really like doing that sort of technique with the corners, and then putting when you've got the walls up, you can see the breakfast bar in between, but it kind of blocks off the kitchen a little bit as well. It's kind of like a bit of a mix. I put curtains in there. I was looking at those as an option, but I was going for a more modern look with this with this particular build in the end. So I don't think those are going to stay, because yeah, I wanted more modern, and I don't think those curtains really suit a modern kitchen. Although I would love some proper kitchen curtains. I know you have the blinds, but you know, you want something smaller that can go on the smaller windows, you know. Yeah, so it can be quite frustrating when you want something pretty, you know, to pretty up your kitchen a little bit, but there's just nothing there to do it. Even like with all the packs and that sort of thing, it's really limited as to what you can put on kitchen windows. And a lot of kitchens have like stuff on the windows. I mean, it doesn't have to be the old school flowery curtains, you know. It can be a nice little tiny blind that doesn't cover the whole window, you know, just like a really short blind. Like those curtains are short, but you know, a blind like that length would be perfect for the game, I think. So you can see the walls I was talking about with the corners there. So I'm going to put like the rubbish bin in the corner, so that's out of sight, and the breakfast bar runs in the middle of those two corners. So it's like a blocked off area, but you can sit there and look in and chitter chatter to the person that's cooking in the kitchen. And I've put in a few bits and pieces in the kitchen for the clutter and that sort of thing, because for once I've actually got the money to be able to do that. And I'm going to run the breakfast bar along to the actual bar. So once again, you can have dining, you can have a bar there and have a few drinks and that sort of thing. So it's perfect for the dinner parties and entertaining and that sort of thing. And I'm putting in the dining hutch just to decorate the dining area. So it's not a huge dining area. I could have gone a lot bigger, I guess, if I wanted to nix the study area, but I don't know, I kind of wanted that as well. And they're going to have the outdoor areas. They've got outdoor dining as well, so you know, and they've got all the breakfast bars and stuff like that. So yeah, I think there's enough seating and stuff there. I really like that that little cabinet. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. It's something like a dining something, I don't know. But I wish you could place like items on it. Like I have to do, you know, you have to do the old lifted up cheat with control 9 and control 0, which is a little bit frustrating because it looks like something that you could just put like your coffee maker or something on there and have like a little coffee area with it in your dining room, but or as I put on there like the tea set and stuff. So I don't know, it's kind of odd to me that isn't like a usable counter. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but it's just kind of weird. So just working out a rug to go in the kitchen. I thought the blue was too much, so ended up I think going with a lighter colour. And then I'm carrying through the cream and blue theme, which is a mix I absolutely adore. I love that mix of colours. It's just so pretty. Yeah, so just doing the study here. So we've got the computer in there with a fancy desk and chair, and I'm going to put a chess set in there as well. So it's going to be a really neat socialising area, and good for upskilling your Sims too. Perfect. It's what you need. And it's nice for once to be able to put all the fancy stuff in there. So bookshelf will go in there, and then another couch. What else do I put in there? Let's see. I think I'm going to put the more windows, but I think I'm going to put an easel in there as well. I think there's room for that because it's you know, it's too wide, so you can put things, yeah, like an easel along there, along the side. I might turn that around. There we go. So you can get some painting in and that sort of thing, and a guitar as well. I mean, you know, there's so many things going on in that study that you can use for upskilling yourself and having a good time. So there you go, perfect. Alright, so I'm just trying to work out this area here as to what I want to do here. So I did think about having enough dining space and making it super social. So I put in like an extra little breakfast table kind of thing, or just like a little tiny dining nook. I will get rid of that painting, it's way too big. And yeah, so I think that's a really cool little area. I'm going to add in the hall stuff because, you know, obviously you need to put your jacket somewhere, put your shoes somewhere. So there you go. There's not much room to do much more than the 3 basics there, which is your coat rack and your coat hook and your shoes. So just working on the hallway and just adding some art to the hallway so that's not plain. And then I'm going to look at the bedrooms, 1, a 2 and a 3. So once again I'm going to carry through the cream and blue theme for the one of the main bedrooms. Well, I mean, I guess they're all the same main bedroom, and there's not really a main bedroom in this build. It's just all kind of the 3 even Stevens across the kids. So I've got the cream and the blue in one bedroom, and it's going more the silvery blue in the second bedroom, and then the third bedroom more just the silver and the white. So going with the fancy beds because we can afford it, so why wouldn't we go fancy? And then I am looking at the first and main bathroom. So I mean, it would have been great to have a guest bathroom as well. Actually, it would have been perfect to have like an ensuite for every bathroom, an ensuite for every bedroom plus a guest bathroom. I mean, that's what I would regularly put in a 3-bedroom house, but I was constricted by the fact that the original house on there only had 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, so it is what it is. So I'm looking at doing a raised platform for the bath, just to mix it up a little bit, really. It's quite a long bathroom. It didn't have a lot of shape to it, so I thought, well, why not do something a bit different? So have it like yeah, raised up. it's just a bit of fun, really. Wasn't any other reason other than that to do it. Just wanted to mix it up a little bit and do something different. And I do like to do a bath on a raised platform. That is something that I've done a few times now, so I think it just adds something a little bit different to what is not that an exciting a room sometimes. Although now that we can do more with the clutter in the bathroom, I mean, that does help immensely with making it look a lot cooler. But yeah, in the base game, your clutter options are pretty limited. So yeah, there's still not a lot to be done with bathrooms in base game, but you know, you can get creative and do different things, I'm sure. So going with the gold and the blue once again, and that kind of matches the bedroom next door. And then it flows through to a more silvery look. But I'm just putting the same bathroom items into the ensuite that go from the white room. So just carrying those through, except that has a shower rather than a shower and a bath. And I kind of did the bath and the shower separately in the big bedroom, in the big bathroom, because I had the money. Although I'm looking at my cash situation now, and I'm down to 34,000 simoleons. Oh, you know, I had 150,000 simoleons to build this thing, and I think I'm still going to run out of money. Isn't that unbelievable? It's just, you want to buy all the nice stuff and the pretty stuff, and the money just goes just like that. Ah, it's just like real life, isn't it? So yeah, so I'm just working out I haven't even put the windows in for this area yet, but working out the living area and just getting the TV up, and how I'm going to do the couches. So I'm going to do like a TV sort of part of the living area, and then there's going to be just like a social sort of couches part of the area, and that all flows out into the outdoor sort of social area is what I will call that. Entertainment area outside, where there's going to be like a table and stuff, and sitting in the middle of the garden, and you know, they can chitter chatter and stuff out there. I think that's going to be quite nice, having that flow through there. So I'm getting my bits and pieces in there. So I'm still using the fancy furniture. I'm not being too careful with money at this stage. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we don't have too much more to buy. Just some bits and pieces of furniture for the bedrooms, and a couple of couches and some outdoor stuff and plants. So okay, yes, I do have still I still have lots to buy. Oh boy, me and my spendthrift ways, hey, money like water. So just getting the windows into the living area. I mean, these aren't super expensive windows, so I mean, they're 110, so they're not cheap, but they're not super expensive either. But a $2,750 bookcase, man, so much money on a bookcase. Books are worth it though, aren't they? I love reading, so books are worth it. So yeah, so we have like the outdoor area outside the kitchen, and then we have the outdoor area outside the living area. So you know, there's going to be a lot of outdoor entertainment. Is definitely the idea for these guys. They, you know, they want to have a lot of people over, and they want to show off their stuff. So I'm going to add the barbecue to that outside area, so that, you know, that's going to be a second option for entertainment. So just getting in the end tables on either side of the bed. That one is not going to have an end table, but it will have maybe something in that corner, that little corner that's sticking out. Probably need some light in there. Definitely the dresses. So we're down to what, 19,000 simoleons? Ka-ching, ka-ching. That is disappearing so fast. Oh my. And I'm still using lots of expensive furniture, but it's kind of at this point, you know, you're already using the expensive furniture, and if you put in cheap furniture, it's kind of ends up being mismatched, you know. So it's a little bit tricky. You start off with the expensive stuff, you kind of got to keep going with the expensive stuff a little bit. So the color theme in this bedroom is just going to stay with the white, really, and I might put some pops of color. I might pop some blue in there, maybe, just to make it less bland, because I mean, white by itself, I mean, it looks really pristine and lovely, but it doesn't have a lot of personality to it. So I still want to put some personality into each of these rooms. Whoops, with the curtains. So putting the curtains in, and I probably will need to look at the curtains for the other bedrooms as well, but look at that money, it's disappearing so fast. So looking at the windows for the other bedrooms, which I will need curtains for as well, I believe. Although I might put those in later. Yeah, and I'm going to need a bit of decoration for these rooms as well. Oh, and a window for the bathroom, of course. Of course we need a little window for the bathroom. And once again, it's the same as the kitchen, with like having like a little something to cover windows in the bathrooms. If you have the little, you know, the little ones, and you might want to like a little tiny blind or something on top, but really limited options for what you can have for tiny windows. I mean, I know they're tiny windows and you're not supposed to be able to see in them, but still, sometimes you want to have a blind on them just in case. You know, there might be sun coming in there and it's glaring on the TV and you can't see the TV properly, and you want to put something over the window so you're not having to deal with the glare. I mean, you know, you don't know what you're going to need or when you're going to need it, so a little blind to cover the windows would be great. That's my opinion and I'm sticking with it. Okay, so the bedrooms are coming together. We're down to 13,000 simoleons, and I'm just getting dressers and chairs in to the blue and gold bedroom, and I've already got a dresser into the silver and blue bedroom, and we're just getting some accessories onto the dressers. So we've got a little bit of clutter in there, which is nice. It's nice to be able to make it look like it's a bit lived in at least. So just working on rugs and colouring now. So we've got a lamp in the corner there. I don't think I'm going to stick with that rug because of the red in it. That makes more sense, that particular rug. And I think I struggled a little bit with working out the rug on this one, because the colour is actually quite hard to match. But the princess rug is obviously the matching rug for that particular one, so that worked perfectly. And then same again on that one. And then working out the rug that worked for the lounge area, which is carrying through the gold and the light blue again. And then this one has this slightly darker wood, so it was slightly different colouring that I needed to match in. Okay, so we're down to 10,000 simoleons. I actually, I quite like those baby rugs as just normal rugs. You make them bigger and you can use them as normal rugs. Some of them are, you know, plain enough that you can get away with it, I think. So, and when you're in base game and you're desperate for something different, you do things like that. So that's what I did. So just getting some rugs and some colour in, and now I am going to start working on the garden. I still haven't done the wallpaper on the inside and stuff, but I will get there, I promise. So on the outside, I'm going for all the sort of the plain grasses and spiky plants and rocks and that sort of thing. So it's quite similar to what I did with the Bruce build for the Bruce family, if you've seen that one. But yeah, I put in some trees, so I'm going with the modern bamboo, and yeah, just more of the grasses and that sort of thing. So I think it actually looks quite nice and does suit the type of house that these guys have. So you know, it all worked. So just getting it all in there, boom, 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 and filling in the space without going too crazy on how much I have in there, because I am down to 9,000 simoleons and I still haven't done my wallpaper or my flooring. So I am conscious of what this is costing, but at least in the base game there is good options for these particular types of plants, so that you can do this this type of landscaping, because you know, sometimes you don't just want to do flowers, you want to do something more green, and this is what I wanted to do for this build, so that's what I did. So I'm going to do that more up the side as well, and then put some plants around the edging to cover the brown a little bit too. But if you look in the inspiration, I'm pretty sure there's like plants running down the side of that more. So I think I'm just sort of emulating what was done in the inspiration, with just like the plants running down that hill and adding to the green. So yeah, so that's what I did there, and then I would run that more down the side. So we've already got the path along the side in place, so we just need to run along the side of that. And I actually didn't end up doing much of anything with the front area. I think it was quite plain in the inspiration. I just kind of wanted to keep that as just pristine lawn. That just made sense for me with how the rest of the build was laid out. So that's what I went with. So I'm just getting the plants along the side of the path as well, just so it kind of outlines the path and takes you through, takes you through to the back end of the house where the pool is, if you want to sneak around the side. I mean, maybe I should have cut that off, but I think they're kind of quite open people as far as come in, socialize with us, have fun with us, rather than stay away, don't come in here. As you can see, I sort of working out a tree here, but I've got like the hedges running along the side of the property as well. So I mean, you got to sort of come into the property to be able to get down the side of the property. So I think that's okay. I mean, it isn't blocked off, but that's fine. And I'm just doing a fountain there. And the front has a sort of like a showcase kind of piece, and then the pool around the back. Just getting that all fancied up some, and we're going to do another path around that side as well, so that you can have a couple of access points for the pool. So around the back we are going to do some flowers, and I just stuck to the white without going too colourful. I just didn't think that they would be the wildflower, lots of colour kind of people. It just made sense with the build to have plain white rather than going overboard, because they're not flowery people, so having the flowers there is just more a nod to the gardener than anything else. Not a nod to them, because they're kind of like, I don't want to be bothered with it, just put something nice in, that sort of thing. So we'll get that garden in, and I think we probably need some pool furniture as well, really, don't we? Because we haven't got that there as yet, but we will get there. How's the money situation looking? So we're at 1,500 simoleons. Yeah. So cheap pool furniture it is, because as expected, I kind of ran out of money. Yay! That's exciting. Not surprising at all, but that's okay. I mean, you can still make that pool furniture look nice. It's not a big deal. Oh, and I'm going to put in like a planter. I mean, the planter is just a free platform build, and put that with a tree in it, and I mean, that fills the space quite nicely and looks fancy-ish, I think, anyway, and doesn't really cost you much. So that's a cheap way to get some landscaping in without spending too much cash. It's just a matter of working out what tree you want in there. And I think that kind of works with the vibe of the landscaping that's around the front too, where it's quite confined. It's not like the wild kind of garden, Very cultured and looked after and maintained. So I actually did a match for the retaining wall that's around the front to the stone that was on the planter. So I thought that was neat. So now we're going to work on the flooring and the walls in terms of getting some colour in the house. Yay, finally! So I went with the dotted linoleum tiling type stuff, and then what have we got there? So like, yeah, the cream, oh yeah, rest in peace expensive computer. Oh, well, I gave it a go trying to put one of those in there. What a fail. But that's okay, now I've got lots of money. So I've gone and spent some money on the flooring around the place. And I'm putting in carpeting in the bedrooms rather than the wood, I think. And going with blue tiling in the bathroom. And I'm going to do a different colour on the raised platform in the bathroom, in the main bathroom. So it's kind of like, adds a different texture to it, a different touch, which I think is quite neat. So yeah, so I think the colours are coming together quite nicely with the brown, with the beige and the blue. It's quite pretty. So then it's the big decision of what is going to go on the walls, and it's just so limited in base game in terms of the colour swatches. I wish they would update them and we would get, just like a few extra colours. I mean, how hard is it to add some different colours that are usable to some of the wallpapers. Like, I don't want them to take anything away as far as the wallpapers go, but just adding like some different swatches like pastels and stuff like that would make such a difference. So just working out the colours on the bedrooms as to which way I'm going to go, and whether or not that will work with the carpet. So I actually went with a grey on that bedroom, went with the wood panelling with the white square, as you can see, which I think is still modern, but is kind of something that you would see in wealthy homes as well. So yeah, that kind of worked for me with them. I just ended up going for like quite plain colours in the bedrooms because options were limited, basically. And I looked at the kitchen and ended up going with grey, which I think worked really nicely with the blue and the beige. So it just yeah, I think that worked quite nicely, and with the rug as well on top of it. So yeah, I think that's quite nice in terms of the colours. And I've just got a little bit of money left over from selling my Ghostwriter computer, so yay, we can put some art up on the wall. Hooray! So that's good news. And I'm getting rid of those curtains because yeah, definitely didn't want those. And also we needed some extra cash for the lighting. Because, you know, once again I ran out of money and I was like, oh no, I need lighting. Oh no. So I mean, obviously we're quite low on cash, so I can't put anything fancy in as far as the lighting goes. I would like to, but ended up just going with something really basic, which is these little globy balls of light. But I think they kind of worked with the house, so yeah, went with that. And yeah, that's how your money disappears so quickly. Oh dear. I did think about a dark blue in the white bedroom, but I don't know, it just ended up being quite too dark for a build that is quite light and bright, I think. So yeah. Alrighty, so I think it's about time that we take a tour of what we've done, because I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. So you can see, like, I think it's really similar to the inspiration, with the retaining wall at the front, and the fact that it is quite a flat build and a light and bright build, and it's quite modern as well. So I think that really suited the younger generation of the Umbridges, and that was what I was going for. So yeah, so we just touches of blue, but we're just going with the plain white and the white clapboard on the outside, and just the gorgeous garden. I think the garden worked out really nicely, particularly for these guys wanting to be outside and having a good time with their friends. And yeah, the pretty blue just adds to the whole vibe of the house, and I think it's quite soft as well for Sims that kind of don't have soft personalities. Yeah, I think it ended up quite nicely, and I really like that I got a curve in there as well. So I mean, you know, with the curved platforms and stuff, that is a lot easier than it used to be, so that's nice. So let's take a look on the inside at what we managed to accomplish in there. So we go through to a little hall area, and running down on the side there is the kitchen, going through to a bar and a dining area, which I think is quite lovely. And going back towards the kitchen, we've got some nice fixtures in there, nothing too fancy, but it's nice, and I really like the light blue, and there's a little bit of clutter with the coffee maker and the microwave and that sort of thing. So I think that's quite nice. And then we're going through to the study, and I think that's gorgeous with the light blue and the cream, and there's lots of stuff in there too, and it's not like a particularly large study, it's just quite an odd shape. And then through to the pool, and then back into the kitchen dining sort of social area. And then we go down the hall, so we've got paintings all along the wall, and then through to the white bedroom. So this is a white bedroom with the ensuite. So just a basic bathroom with sink, shower and toilet. But I think that ended up quite pretty, and I like the blue. I actually really like the grey walls. I mean, I wish I could have put more stuff on the walls, but I mean, it is what it is. So this is the cream and blue bedroom obviously, and then into the larger bathroom, the main bathroom, which I think ended up quite cool with the 2 different heights in it. So I think it just mixes it up a little bit. And then through to the silver bedroom, as you can see there, with the silver and the light blue, and it's kind of light blue, kind of grey. It's quite an odd colour to match that one. And then into the living area, which flows outside to the barbecue area, which I think is lovely for socialising. Yeah, look at that. So out there. And we'll say goodbye to the umbrages. You can subscribe to the channel, like or comment. I am on the gallery, Velvet Bee. I can be found on Pinterest, Velvet Bee Sims, and also on Twitter, Velvet BYT. Thanks very much for watching. We'll catch you next time. Bye!